everyone. We're here for Let's Play Lil Nouns, a weekly show, Wednesday night. Got a great show for you tonight. Joined by Index, as always. And we got a special guest, a friend of the show, friend of the pod, been on many times. Who's riding the front of this boat? You are going to find out right after we get started, right after this. Index card. GM, as always, how are you today?
GM, welcome back. We were live earlier with Boop. Kind of reignites the excitement every time he comes on. And here we are tonight, and we're going to kind of continue some of the work from what we had earlier with Boop, with the help of our friend Mike Good down there.
That's right. Mike.
GM. From one rat to another.
True. I didn't even think of that, but yep. You're kind of rocking the builder hat right now, but you are also a rat. You like pizza, cheese pizza, I think.
Yeah. My favorite food, pizza, for sure. I vibe with Boop a lot, and we have never really connected one-on-one, but him and his brother, they're a vibe for sure.
Mike, you are truly one of the OGs on this show. Probably you're basically the genesis of this idea. You've been with us this whole time. You gave us a ton of feedback on our first prop, but you haven't been on in a while. What have you been up to in the Nouniverse? What's going on with you? What are your thoughts?
Well, I have been watching all of the shows, so definitely been tuned in, even though I haven't been here. Even my wife, who's in the background right now, has probably heard a bunch of the recent shows. I think we were eating dinner last week around this time, listening to you guys. Been chilling, man. Working on a lot of stuff. We've got Bit Nouns in the works right now. Kind of paused that for a few weeks while I came up with some ideas to market that a little bit while gas was kind of spiked. But yeah, the goal is to start marketing Bit Nouns and drive traffic towards the Lil Nouns Discord, hopefully onboard people into Lil Nouns and in turn into the Nouns ecosystem. That with Nouns 101, I'm still also working on a few unboxings, did the recordings for the Bud Light noggles and the paper noggles, so just need to add those for my Hack Week prop. But yeah, just been working on some stuff, been doing some personal things recently as well. Traveled for work 1 week, so had a week off, which was much needed. But yeah, I think that was the only week I missed your show. Actually, was the week I was actually out. I caught 10 minutes of it from my AirPods, but there were so many people around I couldn't really tune in.
Really appreciate that. As you know, we have a massive live audience, and every single viewer counts. But no, we feel really great having you on, Mike, just because you've been so important to this story for us. You've given us so many good ideas, and I would say I don't know that we're lost, but I would say we're stuck, or maybe we're kind of veered off course a bit. Index, do any of those words sound true to you? How would you describe our current adventure?
I mean, we're kind of role playing as the ship that Lil Nouns owns, and so I think Lost at Sea is kind of fits the theme. So maybe that's a good thing, honestly. We take our role seriously whenever we don a certain noun persona. So we're the ship right now, and this visual has got us lost at sea. So I don't know. I think a little bit.
Yeah, and that's a good time reminder. Sorry, I forgot to do this, run this disclaimer. But Mike, I mean, we are sponsored. This live stream is sponsored by Lil Nouns. It's not legal advice, not financial advice. You voted for us, like you're on chain voting for us. Anyone can read our sponsorship on Ethereum. It's lilnouns.wtf/vote/116. And as part of that prop, we committed to putting a prop up on Nouns. And we've been kind of stuck and like, hey, what's the next step? How do we do this? And so we'd love to kind of let you lead the ship here for a minute and give us a pep talk.
Yeah, I don't even know where to begin. Give you a pep talk. Like, where are you guys at? What are you working on? I know you guys had started a prop, and something you guys were kind of concepting. How's that going?
All right, so this is how I would explain it. We have kind of this general concept of Nouns being a game, an infinite game, more specifically. We both kind of really enjoy this concept. We like framing Nouns as this game. It kind of is exciting, interesting. It's something new, different. But we're having a lot of trouble taking that kind of concept and that idea and translating it into a on-chain fundable prop that a lot of nouners/nounders will vibe with, agree with, and be excited about. We're trying to kind of traverse from a general concept into a very tangible proposal, and we're a little stuck. I think probably partially on me for pushing back a lot, and being kind of like somewhat difficult on the idea, and also just kind of life getting in the way maybe of spending more time and thought on it. But I don't know if that helps frame where we are, but we have this concept and we just have to kind of like convert this concept into something real.
Yeah, I love this splash screen and the whole concept of Nouns as a game. I think it's something that like it can be gamified in like many ways through like many metrics. But
can we show Mike? Can we show Mike that the patch update GIF you did, Index, to give him sort of a flavor? Is that on?
It's on the Twitter. I don't know if you are sharing a screen easily, but I can try to share real quick.
I'll do it because I want to be able to see the GIF.
Okay.
All right, Nouns gamers. Yeah. So you remember how Prop 282 was the dynamic quorum, Mike?
Yeah.
So we frame this, really Index did is, Index, you want to describe it?
So I thought maybe like a good way to kind of like get our feet wet, dust off the cobwebs, was to launch a Twitter. I've only made a few posts because it's a little challenging to come up with ideas, but Prop 282, kind of viewing it as a patch to the game of Nouns. And so this was my attempt to kind of visualize and simplify kind of like what dynamic quorum is and what the prop kind of patched. So the GIF is really only that like progress bar. And I would like to some point kind of convert this into a setting screen of like a game to make it kind of easier to understand. People, dynamic quorum is kind of controversial because of the name, but also just the level of confusion it might bring to new people to the DAO. Like the fact that a prop could have more fors than against, but still not pass I feel like that's kind of unusual. So here's my graphic trying to kind of explain that, but it was challenging to distill into a few thoughts.
I love it. I think this is great. But I think this is something that's kind of like an update inside your game, right? And externally on Twitter as like your marketing material to drive people into this game in a sense.
Wait. Yeah, sorry. Say that point again, just because that really resonated with me there.
I mean, I think this is great, but I think it's a part of the game, like something that an in-game player would like receive when they booted up the game on, today. Like if it just took place today, like when I booted up my home screen of the game, maybe this new front end, it would like give me this patch update. But then like it also works really great as kind of like a outward promotional tweet for the game to drive people in, like new patch update on the game, like kind of play your own version of the infinite game here, and driving people into like this. I talked with you guys about this like a couple streams ago, where I thought like an actually like gamified front end would be great. Like I would use it. It would allow me to like log in and like determine if I'm voting enough, if I'm like, proposing, if I'm giving feedback on things, like any metric that could kind of be tracked on chain, I think could almost be gamified for each individual player. And I would love that for myself, to be honest. Help me kind of keep track of where I'm at.
Yeah, we've for sure talked about that a lot. Can I give one more sort of framing, Mike? Because I'm pretty sure Index, well, I'm not going to speak for Index, but I'm pretty sure you and I are on the same page in terms of like time frame and kind of rough budget or like ask. And we both kind of think of this as sort of like, an upgrade from the Lil Nouns ask. So like definitely more significant, but for like a relatively short period of time, like we're thinking something that can be done and like fully completed within, we're thinking 3 to 4 months. Index, is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I think 6 months would be the absolute maximum, but ideally somewhere in the 4-month range, I think I said earlier, would be nice. It's anything longer than that and it starts to become like stale, especially in a world that changes so fast. And then obviously, as we see with this prop, 3 months maybe like on the short end of things to actually bring it to life.
I think that's okay. Like, I mean, I guess I need to hear more about like what you guys have planned. But I mean, with the right developers onboarded, like a week or so ago, when you guys, we talked through this idea, I actually saw Zaug post, I would love to build a video game. And Panda, I sent him a DM that literally said, and he didn't even see it yet. Zaug, like he's just not seeing DMs all the time. He's probably like very busy. But the DM was like, dude, how hard would it be to build like a Zelda style inventory screen interface, but that fed information on like on-chain events based around a DAO, like how many times you voted, all these different stats that we could kind of track. And I shot him a DM about it. He definitely didn't see it because I checked it a little while ago, right before we hopped on. Wow, is that like a low-key flex that like 4156 like your most recent post? Just saying. But yeah, I think like Zaug would be like the perfect. Yeah. Oh, new tweet notifications. Got it. But yeah, I think Zaug or somebody like that would be the perfect person for you guys to team up with and like kind of gamify on-chain variables for different players. I'm going to keep pitching you guys on this until we do it.
Is his tweet still up?
Let me see. Let me check my Twitter.
I think Index, we should game this out and try and get Zoog's attention. Yeah, Zoog's a builder I've worked with many times. He's an MFer. Be great to have him on stream. I just kind of haven't talked to him in a while.
Panda diplomacy. Let's put it to work. No, I mean I don't know his work that well, but I think it would be fun to make video games.
See the chat here?
Yep.
Just put it in.
Yep.
Oh,
all right. Do I do a reply or a quote tweet? I mean, first, obviously, I got to heart it. bookmark it. Mike, what's the play here?
I mean, you can tell him that he's got a DM from me, and it like literally, I literally said in the DM to him, I go, hold on, let me go back up, close it. I was like, how hard would it be to make a web-based token-gated quote-unquote game front end for a DAO where it's like a Zelda inventory page or something where you have stats on voting history, proposals, etc., and would simultaneously have them as routes and reminders for people who just need a centralized place to log in and find all the quote-unquote side quests or micro games they can play, i.e. prop house, on-chain props, voting, joining different communities, etc. And yeah, that was like literally the DM, and then me just being like, what up, man? I haven't talked in a while. So, and he didn't even read it. Like literally it's on unread right now. So, you know, I would maybe just reach out to him and see if he's interested in collabing on something. I loved his MFer space. You know that like CC0builders.wtf was supposed to be kind of, I wanted to work with him on it. Just been way too busy to even think about it. But yeah, I think you should hit him up or and see if he wants to work on the infinite game.
I think for sure, at least just try to get some engagement out of the concept. Maybe the Nouns Gamers account should interact with this tweet. What do you think, Index?
Of course.
I mean, that, but also, you know, Panda's got some weight here. You know, Panda's an MFer, you know?
Diplomat. MFer, Lil Nouner.
Resident. Man, I voted for him. I supported his candidacy. Boy, Mike, we did a whole show with him.
Yeah, I mean, I delegate my MFer Builder DAO tokens to Zach.
Yeah.
I'm on the Nouns Gamers account. I don't know what to say, but Panda, I think you have access as well. I don't know if you got an email or like a notification, but I try to get you access to it. I was actually surprised my GIF post got 1,000 views. That's more than I ever thought. But we only got like 3 followers. Got to get those numbers up.
All right, so I kind of set you up here. I threw you an alley-oop here to the Nouns Gamers account.
Oh, you changed your tweet. Let's see.
We could also think about it and go back to Mike if you have other thoughts, because I know you got other stuff to do. But yeah, which direction you want to take this, Mike?
Somebody just commented, what's this? Hey, Emilio, what's up? That was just a link to a post from Zaug about wanting to build a game. And we want to see if he wants to build the infinite game with us around Nouns. Other thoughts, man? I mean, I like what you guys are doing. I actually want to gamify Nouns with you. I think like this is the input to the infinite game, and we could even keep like an overall score chart, like a leaderboard for who the top players are just based on their on-chain stats, you know? Right now, obviously, like voting history could be one thing, like who has 100% voting history, right? Like that's one stat, but how do we now take like other on-chain stats and like make a meta score for each player? And it's something that you guys define, like what the meta score is. Like maybe it's activity in servers, maybe it's like a combination of things that we don't even reveal because it's like the Google algorithm and it just changes based on like your nounish perspective as the DAO changes block by block. But I think like gamifying it is a really great concept. You guys have like kind of taken the word, you know, you and I think Krell are like the guys who are talking about this as a game right now. And I like that. And I think like that's a really good kind of niche to be in. And I would love, boom. Like, I think he is, you know, one of the my top 10 nounish people as well. What up, Krell? Noggle DAO. hashtag. And I love this front end. So like I see, even if this took longer than 3-4 months, if this was like a 5-6 month project, get the right developer on. Maybe it's Volky, maybe it's Zaug, maybe it's Here's My. I'm not entirely sure. But I think someone will help you guys, get this to where you want it to be, where it could actually be like a place that people come to every day and log in and just see like what they got to do. And maybe it starts with nouns, but then it like expands out to Lil Nouns and NARS and like other things. Like maybe if you have tokens in your wallet for all 3 of these DAOs, like boom, like all the side quests just pop up because it's token gated and like you just activated it based on owning a token. Or maybe like it's all exposed, but it's kind of locked and it's like you need a token to kind of access this area, but you don't need it to access the prop house rounds of that area, So there's like a lot of variables there, but I think it's simple enough that like you guys could concept this out a little bit further and make it an actual more like gamified kind of approach. So yeah, that's it.
That was quite the pep talk.
My girl also just made the best arroz con pollo, and I'm about to finish it. It was so good. Thank you. Thanking her live on stream. It's like a shout out, modern day shout out live on stream.
Amazing. Yeah, Index, you want to react or you know what? Let's talk to Aniello. Yeah, Aniello S is in our YouTube. We're live. Again, you might be watching this on replay, but he commented, I like the sound of this. Thanks for the rundown. He's obviously kind of engaged. We love that. Absolutely love to hear from our audience. Aniello, if you have any more questions, shoot them up on YouTube and we'll get to them. Absolutely appreciate having you here. We'd love to hear more from you. Yeah. Index, where do you want to go?
Well, if Mike G is still there, we've kind of like outlined your scope of our alt front end concept. But outside of like the alt front end, do you have any other elements of a prop in mind? I guess, or is the entire prop in your mind kind of like this alt front end? Because Panda and I have some other ideas. So I don't know if you're still there or you're kind of enjoying your dinner. But
I was literally just licking my fingers, but now I'm here. My idea is solely pretty much around the alt front end right now, for sure. I love that you've kind of like made the Twitter for updates. I think that's important to go along with it. Kind of like a space for the alt front end to send updates based on, different updates or big events or different things like that. A way to kind of really get people involved more and a place to check up besides the alt front end. But no, yeah, it was basically around that. What are your other thoughts? Like, what else are you guys thinking through?
Well, we kind of do these streams, and that was part of Prop 116. I guess the question is, like, do we continue to have a stream but centered more around gaming? I had this kind of rough concept, but I don't know if how to actually execute it. But Nouns currently has a noun in their treasury. And I had been considering requesting that noun and then using it as kind of a player and like a community-driven player, sort of like Twitch plays Pokemon, if you're familiar. Except Twitch is probably going to end up being like crypto Twitter, and we play as this noun. I think it was 687.
So but we just crowdsource kind of the response or like what the noun does, basically. Through like Twitter or something?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, like on Twitch, obviously they spammed commands and it was like actual quiche, like D-pad or A, B, whatever. And then the character in Pokemon did that.
Yeah.
You can't really do that with a noun, but like imagine if like all of crypto Twitter weighed in and got to vote on a nouns proposal. I mean, maybe that's just me dreaming and no one really cares. but I think it's also valuable to find out if people do care. You know, like if crypto Twitter doesn't care enough to like weigh in on a vote for Nouns DAO, then maybe there's something wrong, and that's valuable. But I don't really know how it actualizes, but I could also offer my noun in the meantime, probably. But
that would be very interesting. Yeah, like the people's noun.
Yeah.
Anybody who wants to kind of vote with it can, you know, within this constraint. Like maybe it's a Twitter, you know, vote or something, and there needs to be like over a certain amount of votes or something. But yeah, I mean, I'd be worried about that just getting botted by someone smart.
I mean, it's only one vote at the end of the day. Obviously, you know, like I don't think you would want an NFT mint because then that just becomes like any other sub DAO.
Yep.
So there'd have to be some way to make it just like fun. I don't know if like even that's like the front end, like you log into the front end and you control this noun, community noun. That's getting like a little more technical, but
yeah,
that would be kind of crazy.
Right. Like the requirement is to just be playing the game in one way or another, and you can get like this free vote with one noun. Shit. You could give somebody a bit noun also.
No, that's
but yeah,
really
I
exciting.
really like that, to be honest. I really, really like it. I think a lot of people that are into like sharing governance and like expanding nounish values would be into that. That's very much like teaching people about DAOs through a free vote on crypto Twitter. So that's great. Like even if we concepted it through index card noun for, you know, a month or something, you know, 10 votes.
Yeah, like I could literally tweet right now. Hey, well, I don't know if I have the audience, but that's kind of part of the problem. But I could be like, hey, crypto Twitter or whatever, how do you want to vote on this prop with my noun? Put up a poll, for, against, abstain.
Yep.
Maybe we do that live. I don't know. Unfortunately, the next prop that I have to vote on is NFT Brazil, but
well, maybe you know, if you've already made your decision on that one and how you want to vote, then maybe it's like the next one that hasn't been posted yet or something, like the next new prop. And then you could actually prime your audience now by saying, hey, I've decided on the next new prop that gets put up. I'm going to crowdsource this vote. I don't know what the prop is yet or who's putting it up. So it'll be totally random. And you know, you, the community, are going to be able to vote with my index card noun. So, you know, like I'll put it up as soon as that comes up. And then like in a week or so when it pops up. Yeah. That sounds fun.
It's fun if like it actually happens the way you imagine it. If not, I don't know if it's as fun, but I'm tempted to do it like right now just to see, but
I think you'll get a lot of retweets from like bigger accounts, which will make it more fun. And as long as we get like 50 people voting, I think it's a W for sure. And yeah, and Demetrius thinks it's a great idea as well. What's up, Demetrius? GM.
I think that's a great idea. There we go.
Yeah, I mean, that would be killer. It's just like a way to get people involved in governance and kind of experience it and follow through on the vote just to kind of, you know, see. I don't know why we have DCF God's post pulled up right now. What are we reading here? Nouns is an enmity.
This is a breaking tweet right now.
Care less. Care less.
No, I pulled this up because this is truly a post from DCF God that I truly believe in and agree with. That this is one of the reasons why Nouns is so interesting is Nouns is really kind of inventing these new things. Dynamic quorum, voting with reason, DAO split, rage quit, you know, ZK voting. I think this is one of the most interesting aspects of Nouns. And what's interesting is he agrees, and I wonder if there's a way where we could tie our prop, I don't know, kind of sort of in this direction where, you know, we bring in gamers, expand the ecosystem. I don't know. Could we get a yes from DCF God Index?
Whew. I have no idea, really. If we slide our prop into a series of like 6 props in a row, we increase our odds of getting a 4 just based on past history. Other than that, I'm not too sure.
Oh man. That's good stuff, Index.
What if you I guess you can't submit like the same prop 10 times in a row, but you know, you like submit the same prop 5 times and then maybe one of them you'll get a 4 and then you just cancel the other ones.
Yeah. Anyway, that was just a quick tangent.
Yeah, I mean, when a prop makes me cringe, I realize it's probably good for like the space to be talking about it or whatever. But like, yeah, most of those props you just like listed make me fucking cringe in general. But yeah, I'm just like a person who likes like the same and like normalcy and like challenging and disruption is like written all over all of these props, you know. I'm kind of like, the DAO was here for a purpose to like fund this flywheel, spend money, do really cool stuff, have people see that we're doing cool stuff, and like continuously fund the flywheel. And like these things all kind of disrupt that in a sense. And they're not bad. I just typically go against change at first. But yeah, it definitely is pushing the entire space forward. And I see that based on your comments now, Panda. So you kind of put it in a different light for me. So thank you.
Yeah. I mean, they're just public goods. It's kind of also the Will Papper. This is something like a tweet that Will Papper would very much agree with, I believe. So, yeah, got some more comments here from Demetrios Alexidos. Definitely love hearing about this meta governance stuff. Also super tight that Index is just instantly down. Yeah.
Is it commenting when I'm writing comments? Is it popping up as you? Because for me, it's popping up as Lil Panda. It's super weird.
Yep, it's you're writing as Lil Panda, but we'll take it.
That's fun.
Yeah, there you are. Index Cardiac is the most managed. Thank you, Lil Panda. Appreciate it.
I mean, are you just what Index? Talk a little. Can you respond to this? I mean, I've just been from working from you. You really are sort of someone who says you're down for something and does it. Like, is that something you've always been that way, or has Nouns kind of pushed you in that direction?
I guess mostly always that way. I mean, I definitely don't always follow through, but I try to. Kind of like that one time I told you I would mint an index card through the block party. It may have taken me months, but I finally came back and did it. So I kind of always that way. But yeah, if I get an idea, I just at least would like to try it once. I think this is like a ridiculous, famous Jerry Springer clip that my friends in college and I used to really enjoy quoting. But I'll try anything once was kind of the quote from the video. So that's words to live by, I think. I'll try anything once. But yeah, I think maybe I'll put up a tweet. I don't know if it's gonna get the attention or what people would think about it, but hey, my vote is up for grabs on this poll on Twitter. What do you think? I don't know if anyone's actually done that yet. I know there's been some Twitter polling for like consensus and just general like sentiment, but I don't know if anyone's actually followed through on a vote.
Hey, there's a first time for everything.
I'll try anything once. What do you think, Panda, of this idea?
Well, I'm sort of in the metagame right now, and I'm just thinking a mood board for this episode is there's got to be a Seinfeld episode, right, where someone has this sort of attitude and just kind of goes for something crazy, and it's funny. But nothing specifically is coming to mind. I'm thinking about like Kramer. Maybe there was. Do you remember when he is a ball boy at the U.S. Open? That's kind of funny.
Yeah. I was gonna say, or when he was a model.
Yeah. He slides against
hand
the
model,
wall.
right?
No, George was the hand model. Kramer did the underwear modeling for Calvin Klein.
Yep.
And he slides against the wall and his tan rubs off on the wall.
All right, we're gonna get a mood board up for this idea, I think. Index.
Honestly, I never knew before how popular Seinfeld was. Like, I had always watched it like 5 times straight through, but like, I didn't know that everybody had done that. And the company I work at, we're actually named after like a Seinfeld quote, like something that Kramer says during the show, like a few times, like through many episodes. And our whole company is named around that. And there's like Seinfeld portraits hanging around the office. So it's crazy when like you guys are also referencing Seinfeld. Like, I legit can't get away from it. It's amazing. I'm going to have to start making my wife watch some episodes.
I know I've asked before, but you didn't. I don't think you shared, but I want to like guess the quote somehow at some point.
Yeah. If you can guess the quote, I will definitely let you know if you got it right.
Okay. I have to think about this one.
The other thing is that kind of I want to go in this direction is we talked about this earlier, I think, with Boop Index, but if you put out a draft idea and it doesn't go anywhere, then the cost isn't that much. So yeah, I mean, like, what in order to get a hack MD, or what do you think is the next iteration of this idea, the community noun? Is it like a tweet thread? Is it like a poster? Is it like a tweet or a Discord post?
Probably everything starts. I feel like everything starts on Twitter these days in the post Discord shutdown era. If you want to like test an idea out, you kind of got to go to Twitter and just see if it hits or not. I mean, before asking for one, I guess I just try it with my noun, right? Make a thread or something.
Yeah, I think like a quick visual, yeah, and then like a quick sentence of a tweet. Let me grab it, because the community noun you have in mind is the one that's been named, right? Yeah, so let's grab that noun. Do you remember the number by any chance?
I feel like it's 687. I should just check real quick. Yeah, 687, 200 after mine. Held by nouns.eth. That's kind of really crazy to see.
And also, one of the few nouns, maybe the only noun, to be himself the subject of a proposal. I guess they're probably similar things, but this is Prop 280. And so this name also has this noun has a canonical name based on this prop. Jello, right? Am I right?
Yep, Jello.
Jello began in New York in 1897. Now owned by Heinz, Kraft Heinz. Should we make an open source Jello? Let's see. Did everyone disappear?
Oh, I was just muted. Yeah, I was just saying, I really appreciate, Mike, if you want to come, stay, you're totally welcome to. If you have to go, we totally appreciate you coming on. And we appreciate, your wife too for that lovely dinner.
Yeah, the arroz con pollo is fire. Right now, I am like literally standing up in the kitchen, scraping off some of this rice that got a little overcooked, but is like so delicious because it's like crispy rice. Oof, it's fire. But yeah, thank you guys. I'm gonna be hanging out. I'm just gonna mute. If I have anything to say, I'll chime in. But yeah, I'm gonna start cleaning up the kitchen a little bit. Thank you guys for having me. Always chill chatting with y'all. Let me know if you have any other questions or updates on your prop. Can't wait. And love this idea about the community noun. Yeah, I think we should try it out with the index card, like ASAP. I think that would be a really cool experiment and a good way to lead into this. So yeah, good luck, guys. Let me know.
Thanks, Mike, as always. Okay, so we want to do this with your index card, then not with Jello.
I mean, I feel like we pilot the idea with my index card. And then if it works out well, we try it with Jello, or if Jello becomes accounted for in some other way, because I'm sure there are other people trying to fight for either ownership or use case for Jello, then you can always just top up the auto bidder and try it again. Obviously, that's like a well, I guess you could combine proposals, but yeah, that becomes like a many proposal sequence there where you gotta ask to refill the auto bidder, you gotta activate the auto bidder, then you gotta request to do something with the noun again. But I don't mind trying it with my card. I mean, it's I do think it is actually the people's noun.
Amazing.
I might tweet it out after the stream or something because I have stage fright and I don't know if I could tweet live, but
yeah, no problem. What can I help you with the image here? Or you want to do just a tweet?
In my mind right now, I'm trying to like write the tweet in my mind. I'll just probably start off like trying something out. Yeah, trying something out here. This is like my tweet. I don't know how the graphic. I got to think through this one a little bit.
Well, just start with the words, and I'll just jam on it.
Trying something out. Crypto Twitter. How would you vote on this prop with my noun? You know, so I don't know, something simple like that. And then the poll would be like for, against, abstain. A link to the prop. I don't know if that makes too messy of a tweet though. You can't like link too many things in a tweet, right?
I think
like you can't have a poll, you can't have an image and a link in one tweet.
What's like what if we think of this as like a movie trailer for what you're thinking of doing? And it's like, what if we simplify the text to just be like, what if it's like this? What if it's just trying something new? And it's like coming soon, or, something like that.
Possibly. I mean, I was kind of ready to just do it with this. I think it's Prop 292 is the next one I got to vote on that I haven't yet. Oh no, 295. Sorry, I'm a little off. But I could wait for the next one, like 298, whenever that comes in.
Oh, so you're saying literally tweet out how should you vote, and then you're going to actually vote the way that the poll comes out?
Yeah, possibly. This is a resubmit. Yeah, I don't know. Is that crazy? Is that unnounish? I feel like that's kind of nounish, but I don't know.
Well, I do too. If you're going to make that offer, I think you have to keep your word. So you have to really be willing to vote either way.
Of course, I keep my word. Obviously there's a time frame on this one, but whether it's months, years, I try to keep my word as best I can.
I mean, what if we find one that you're truly ambivalent about?
I think that's this one.
can't decide? Like, you have reasons that you're thinking yes and reasons you're thinking no?
Then this might be the prop. I voted against on the first iteration. Second iteration, I haven't voted yet because I'm on the fence. Like, I really want to support Brazil. That sounds ridiculous saying like an entire country, but you know, Brazil in the context of nouns. But I also I'm not really fully inspired by NFT kind of centric events. So I am on the fence on this one. I know Krell already abstained, and he had voted no on the first one. I feel like they're going through with this regardless, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't know if I get the attention required, but I guess I'll just go with it either way. And if it's a flop of a tweet, then it's a flop of a tweet.
I mean, yeah, I think that's a great idea. For all the viewers here, yeah, shout out our YouTube viewers. If you have questions, let us know. We are looking right now at proposal 295, Nouns DAO, via House of Nouns, built by Nouns. This is NFT Brazil. This is a resubmission. Got Poap's vote, huh? That's big. 41 votes from Poap.
That is big. Yeah, very interesting. And I know you kind of like some of your metagame, and so I found this before we went live. I don't know if you saw the Discord message, but DCS Pod sent 22.95 ETH to the Nouns DAO treasury 8 days, 5 hours ago. So I'd imagine DCS Pod is kind of down. We were talking about props that have passed once and then come back for a second, or have been defeated first and came back a second time and passed. And so I was just kind of scrolling through the list of old props, and I came across DCS had returned their funds. Because I know Explorer Grants kind of does a similar thing, trying to onboard prop builders. They passed for their trial, but failed on the full re-ask. So a little bit of meta game for you there. But I was having trouble, really. What I was looking for was finding someone. Was it someone that failed twice in a row? I think was the issue, and I couldn't really think of any. Or defeated twice in a row, to use the right term.
Yeah, this came up. We were talking about. A lot of props have successfully kind of lost or been canceled after their first attempt, but then come back and had great funding, like Nouns Agora, House of Nouns, a bunch. So I was just thinking about, is there sort of the inverse where something goes down, gets defeated, and then gets put back on chain, but also loses there? Here we go. 79, 80, 81. Maybe these were two quick cancels and then a defeat. Let's see. No votes.
Huh. I'm having trouble remembering the specifics around this time, but you may have found, I guess, all the way back in the day. I know. Let's see, was Toads ever? No. Huh. Yeah, there's a couple. If you want, I don't remember the timing enough to say if it was a double fail, though. I have to go back and dive deeper.
What's the lesson though for us? Kind of, and we're kind of on a detour, lost at sea. To me, I think just the lesson is you go forward and fail, but you come back sort of in good faith. I think a lot of good teams have sailed that route successfully.
Yeah, I think as long as like prop A is within a certain percentage of prop B, then yeah, this theory probably holds true that you may as well just go for it and come back refined a little bit. So I guess our goal is to get to that, like, I guess we just call it like V1, then V2, not A or B. I don't know what I'm saying, but yeah, I guess we need our prop V1, and if it gets defeated, then we just come back with our V2. And the odds are in our favor.
Yeah, and we talked about, Nouns AI Pod, one of the flagship projects in Nouns, in my opinion. They canceled, kind of had a repricing, I believe, or something like that, kind of renegotiation. They passed an extension, so I think this is their third time. Yeah, it's like 3 wins and 1 kind of defeat, but that's a good record to have because they're funded.
I'm gonna dig in here. Let's see. Were they ever defeated? I don't think they ever actually defeated.
Oh, look, functional
Yes.
props. Digital oil, 238 and 241.
Oh, okay. Yes. Now that you called it out, it did fail twice. I forget what the change was. I think this is a weird one where the scope of the second proposal actually increased from the first one, whereas typically it's decrease. The ask was larger on the second time. I think, if I remember correctly, but I don't know. It's been a lot of props.
3 higher.
Yeah, something about it.
Oh, well, and the 3th was pull requests into nouns.wtf.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily because it was higher, but I just don't know if it really changed enough. What was it, 97 to 103? And then V2 was 107 to 128, so kind of like similar percentage. So maybe the prop just didn't change enough. It was actually close to the first time. It was interesting. I forgot about this one.
You know what's really interesting? I mean, these are close back to back. So 238, there were 23 abstentions. And then the next prop, 241, there was 0 abstaining. But if that was 1 abstain and it was all 23 nouns, and they voted against, then they were like the single-handed swing vote.
It was multiple people. It was quite a few, actually. 8 addresses. Yeah, and then Demetrios giving us some more feedback in the chat, so I got to call it out. Let's see. When I was working through ideating on my business, I did at 2 or 3 business model canvases. Interesting to look back at my assumptions and the original version. Iteration and keeping things lean means you can pivot when things don't work out as planned. So kind of, backing up our thought about just going for like a version and then taking the feedback and going with it, which is tough probably for me, easier for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to be the one that wants like the perfect prop. You want to be the one who moves a little bit faster and just gets the feedback going.
Yeah, but we're playing in a different ballgame now. It's almost like before with Lil Nouns. Yeah, you're a Lil Nouner and you're active and everything, but I would say you're mainly a Nouner. And so it was almost like an away game for you. But now you're playing a home game. You're playing, in the big leagues. You have your own reputation. You have your art. So it's different stakes for you.
Yeah, that probably is right, honestly. I might just be intimidated by I like the home and away game thing. That's kind of funny. Obviously, yeah, I was a little Nouner before a Nouner, but probably align more with being a Nouner. So usually the home games are a good thing, but in this case, performance anxiety.
And just a reminder, by the way, just one more thing to our audience. GM Demetrios, we love the questions. Not everyone knows Index. Index Card is a game dev for Nouns. His art is literally in the Nouns code. It's on chain. He involuntarily was paid for his work. So it's not like you're just any old Nouner. You're a game dev, Index.
I at least designed one of the in-game assets. As part of, I guess, as we would frame it, a patch. The 8th anniversary patch for the artwork. Dev may be like a little bit of an overstatement of my accomplishments, but I've designed some of the artwork, I think, for the game. There it is. Next level. I hope so. It's a lot of pressure, but
so yeah, let's we're kind of winding down on time. We should definitely tell Demetrios and Anelio and everyone else watching how to find us, how to follow us, and send us a DM if you got more questions. If you want to come on as a guest of the show, we are always looking for guests, and we really appreciate our audience tonight. So Index, where can people go to follow you, to DM you, to find you?
Yeah, this was kind of like a fun one. I think we thrive or do our best when we have guests, but let's work on the Figma here. Oh, you just took the screenshot. I'm the test guy. I use the index card PFP, but I'm at Modrovsky, MODROVSKY, on like everything, Discord, Twitter. Considered switching over to solely index card, but I haven't pulled the trigger yet. It's kind of scary to change a username, so for now, going by my OG username.
Hey, does your location need an update, or are you permanent resident of the Noundry?
That's like one of those things, like you know how people have like New York City, and then they'll do the airplane, and it'll be like LA or something. Maybe I need like Noundry to, I don't even know what it would be. Nouns DAO? I don't know. I change it all the time though. So my profile, I update on a weekly basis, whatever I feel like that day. But what would you recommend?
Well, how often do you update the location? Like you're telling me you changed it to Noundry last week.
I'd say within like a month for the location. The banner I change all the time. The profile photo I change all the time. Even the bio I think I changed like 2 days ago. I added at nouns DAO. Because I wanted when people come to my profile to understand that it was something affiliated with nouns, because you can't, obviously the glasses, if people know nouns glasses, they see it, but there was really no indication that I actually had any affiliation to nouns. So I threw that in there.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a beautiful page. I mean, I love your aesthetic. I love this kind of Apple aesthetic in the banner. Yeah, at Modrovsky. Yeah, you got it up on screen. Awesome. Well, let's remind everyone, thank you for joining us. We are here every Wednesday night, every single week at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's 12 o'clock UTC. It's the start of the blockchain day. Every Wednesday, we're here on Twitter, on YouTube. If you join us on YouTube, you can subscribe to us, please, and ask us questions, follow along our journey. You can watch our entire journey so far, and you can read all about it here on Ethereum forever at lilnouns.wtf/vote/116. We are proudly sponsored by Lil Nouns DAO. Index, you want to close us out?
Thank you for everyone who chatted in the on the live stream. Mike G for tuning in with us here live, or joining us live, not tuning in. Man, I wish we had guests like every week. It's kind of makes it a lot more interesting and exciting. And I think that's kind of a good lesson to learn here. The game is fun when you involve other players. So shout out to James P. Karst to close it out.
Good old James. Thanks, everyone. Great show. We'll see you next week. It's been fun.